Hey guys, hello, and I am back here for the live today. Hi Bhavik, thanks for joining.
Hi, Sarah.
How are you?
I'm fine. You said, how are
So
you
I
doing?
I just started the live and I was introducing everyone like what the live is about. So and I majorly don't do Insta lives बहुत ज़्यादा. Like I do very less Insta lives. Like I really don't know कि क्या बात करना है live पे. So I generally don't do that. But whenever I do, it is like fun thing for me. So I'm here today to understand first the sun path and next we will be talking about our course. I'm partnering with you regarding a course called sun psychology. So ये तो समझना ही है कि what is that. But before we do that, let me just give you a short introduction about you. So guys, we have with us architect Bhavik Mehta. He is the principal architect of Green Squares Design Studio, which is based in Ahmedabad. And he's also an assistant professor at Anand University. So he believes in spreading knowledge to more people, which can help to develop a better society, and that's great. So thank you for coming on this live today, Bhavik. And let me talk about our course first. It is Sun Psychology, and
Right.
we are taking it on 13th of July. It's a 3 hour course starting at 10 a.m. So majorly my courses are hosted at evening, but I think we are talking about sun, so timing was between morning.
Right.
So I have certain questions for you, even from me and the students who were registering for the course have many questions for me. Like they asked me in the DMs, what is the course about? Even I have few questions about the course. So let me just like put a first question to you. Uh, why is the knowledge of sun path is essential to know for as a designer?
Yeah. So there is one incident I would like to definitely share
Oh,
here
great.
because it's like related with the academics a lot. So I was attending a jury in the like past month, right? And
Mhm.
so I was invited in one of the university, and I was there as a juror. I went there, and there was a project by a student who was designing a library in context of Delhi, right? And my co I had one co-juror who is like experienced also, but somehow he made a comment like, why are you not having all the windows on north, and why are you not all the functions are facing on the north side, so you get the maximum amount of daylight and you can use it. So I was like, seriously, is it the solution of getting the daylight, and is it like in the context of Delhi where the composite climate is there, and it is like
Mhm.
very harsh climate, where if you read the sun path and the so the north in the summer the sun goes towards northeast direction, right? And
Mhm.
it makes north so much critical in terms of heat gain during the evening time, especially when the temperature is also high. And at that time, if you gain the sunlight of that particular north direction, then it is the most critical condition for the indoor spaces. And that's why I think this knowledge, incomplete knowledge of like reading the sun path, or to know about the sun psychology is very very important, right?
I
And
think it is.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm so
So,
sorry.
yeah. So on other side, if you see like a proper amount of daylight is very much necessary. So I have again a story of mine only. If you consider that daylight is how much important, right? So previously I was working like before in my initial years, I was doing a job under one firm, right? And the entire firm had, because it's a huge office, we had artificial light for a longer period, like we have to stay like 8 hours in a day, artificial light. And if you be there, if you like in few months, like 3 4 months, I was not able to actually come out with naked eye. I need to have a goggles, so that kind of it impacts like psychologically also, and it impacts our like eyes and the mind. So physiologically also it impacts. So a proper amount of daylight, and the uh, it is must to have in any indoor space, right? And that's why this particular course, where you can understand the exact like how the sun is moving, how you can relate it with your building design, and then how you can get the proper amount of sunlight in the space. That is why I think this course is most important to have.
Yes, yes. So guys, those who are joining now, you can still put your questions in the comment section of the question sticker. You can use that. You can ask us the question regarding what is the course about. You can ask the question to Bhavik like what we'll be learning here and how learning Sunpath is important. Let me just repeat it to you, those who have joined us now. We're talking about a course, Sun Psychology. It is on 30th of July, starting at 10 a.m. It's a 3 hour long course, and you'll be learning about Sun Path. And more of the information is on my website. You can just go and click on the link in the bio, and you can go and check it there. So, moving on to my second question now, which is very important. So is it correct to claim that due to heat gain, we should only have more windows on the north side of the house? Is it that important?
Not necessarily every time,
Okay.
because it depends on, of course, the climate consideration you have to do first, right? So if you understand the south, if you understand the north, if you understand how the sun path is moving, and if you understand the climatic zone of that particular area and how you can deal with the climate, then the sun psychology, of course, sun path plays a major role in that particular, like, to deal with this entire scenario, right? And uh, yeah, so basically if you provide so like India, if you take from north to south, so it has a huge variation. Like we start with the 10-degree uh, altitude to the I think 30 to 33-degree and more,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if you, as you move up, the sun moves towards the north and northeast direction, right? So the context, like I gave you the example of Delhi, where the context is composite, where you have actually need to protect your building from the direction, right? And
Mm-hmm.
at that moment in summer, if you open up the north facade, then it is most critical condition, right? Even if you take example like the set here in Ahmedabad, we are lying under 24, right? And
Mm-hmm.
in this context also, north is bit critical for the month of May and June, which are the critical months in our climatic conditions.
Oh,
And
okay.
the library we had, which has like now they have new campus, but the old library had a direct access of north light, and it was so dangerous. Like we had literally glare at the moment of noon and the afternoon, and because of that we used to have newspaper about the skylight. So that was the condition we had. So that's why it is not necessary that every time the northern lights are important, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you have to understand sun specifically to understand this northern light, right? So
So I think you have answered my next question as well, that it is not necessary for each climate zone to have a particular north side window. So I think you have answered that. But can you explain me the relationship between an external opening size versus a projection design?
yeah, uh, it is very much important if someone wants to play with the light and shadow. For example, if you are designing any museum or if you are designing church, which in church specifically the light is playing a major role. For example, Church of Light by Tadawando, if you take example, right? So the light, the shadow and the light was playing the major role in the like the idea of doing that cross, right? And so yes, it has a direct relation with the how much amount of the daylight you want to have in the building. So it has relation with the daylight also, and it has also relation with the sun and the shadow. Like if you want to achieve specific sunlight in a specific time frame, right? Then you need
Mm-hmm.
to understand the sun path. You need to understand it. You need to actually locate the sun directly, right? And based on that you can actually understand this, like the direction of the sun rays, from where it is going to enter, and then how much amount you want to, based on that you can actually provide these shading. So yes, it has many, like a good relationship with the both with the natural light and the daylight.
So I was just preparing like for this course when I was trying to research like what are the different types of shading devices, why shading device is important, and I got that information. I've even made a carousel post out of it. So what do you think of that?
Shading devices. So sometime it happens like we says that the south is most critical to because most of the heat gain which is happening from south or southwest side, and at the same time majority Indian context if you take like so southwest wind is more beneficiary, right,
Mhm.
in terms of to gain the natural ventilation. So this particular moment of time where you have to actually design the accurate size of the window, and if you can protect the direct sunlight using the projection system, right, then it works I think much more in a better manner, that you can control the window size also, you can actually control the sunlight using the projection systems,
Mm.
and then you can gain the proper ventilation also, right. So I think this is where, of course, the projection design we need to understand.
Mhm. So I think just like to know about like when you learn about sun path, then it is also interdependent on the kind of projection you have and kind of ventilation you'll be getting. So learning a sun path has too many advantages, right, in the design process.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
definitely.
so my next question to you is any architect's works that motivates you to explore the direction of understanding of sun in depth, and if you can give an example, like if you can, like
Which
whose work inspires you the
uh,
most?
like I was impressed a lot by his work. Lee Corbusier, of course, he is a master's in architect. Uh, when I visited Chandigarh, specifically
Mm-hmm.
Secretariat building, right, and
Yes,
there is
yes,
a in a center you have a house of shadow, right,
yes.
and that building actually made me interest to come in this particular field. The entire building, it was designed to understand, of course, the sun of the Chandigarh, but also it is designed in a such a manner that no single sun ray comes inside the building, right? And that is how
Oh,
it is best way it is designed. So any day you take, any time you take, you go inside, you get the shadow. There is no single sun
mm-hmm.
ray which can enter in that particular building, and that is the power of this shadow shading device and the understanding of sun path, right? And that's why it is very much important to understand this relationship.
Yeah, I think it can also help to reduce the temperature inside the building, if because of the projections and the sun
Yeah.
understanding of the sun path.
Of course, it matters a lot. Like uh, the more you gain the sun, the more you are inviting the heat, right? But for
Correct.
example, if you are in a cold climate, then you have to think reversely, and you have
Oh
to allow
yes.
the sun maximum time. And at that time, if you are able to understand the sun and the sun rays and the how much
Mhm.
sun hours are actually there in that context, and if you design your opening in certain manner, then you can actually take benefit of the sun and you gain the maximum amount of heat also. So of course it has relation with the climatic context also, but yeah, sun is must to
So
understand.
yes, generally living in Nagpur and the kind of heat we have, we do not think of that we don't have sun and we think we need to think about something else. But the climatic conditions here are very tough, very hot and humid.
We
So yeah,
can
I got your
take
answer.
history also, like historical example. If you take Sun Temple Modera, like
Mhm.
everyone knows about it. Like specific day,
Yes,
specific time, the sun rays is falling on the idol, right? And at that era, they actually calculated the sun, and that was so
yes.
accurate that it is happening in a true manner. So because of the like constant sun path and the
Yeah.
constant
I
location
think
that you have that knowledge, and it
I
is like
think what they have achieved without any softwares, we cannot do it with the softwares even today.
that's what we are going to learn in this particular workshop. So that is
That's
very
great. So I hope like learning from this, more people will join our course and learn about it. Before moving on to the last questions, those who have just joined now or joined from the middle of the life, we are coming up with the course Sun Psychology, and we'll be learning about sun path, what are projection devices, what are different types of kind of projection devices, and many more things. We are having exercises too. So let's see you on 30th of July at 10 a.m. It's a 3 hour long course. And before coming back to the last question, how we came up with the name Sun Psychology, and can you tell in brief that what students will be learning? Now we are at the last of the last question. So can you just tell us in brief that what everyone will be learning? 3 hours long course, understanding the sun. Is it important for architects, design, like students, and how it will help them?
Yeah, so see, I'm into academics, right? And I always like insist that student needs to learn the sun path at the first level of like they are into second year or third semester. They need to learn the sun path because that particular time and that particular in semester they are starting actually implementing the this climatic conditions to their designs, right? And how they can actually cope up with the harsh climate, or how they can take benefit of this climate, how they can develop the passive designs, and in which in this entire scenario the sun is playing a major role, right? So first thing, this course helps us to understand like how this sun particular manually all these exercises I will try to teach students so one can understand like how they can read the sun path. So in any location they go in the world, they can just understand the altitude and they can relate with the sun, right? So that's easy it is, but you need to have that methodology, you need to understand to get the idea of this sun path, right? So that is the main motto of this particular designing this course. And of course there are certain free tools which are available in market. For example, Curic Sun is there for the SketchUp, right?
Yes.
But if you don't know sun, if you don't know how it is moving, if the Curic Sun is accurate or not, right? And you are designing something, and if in practice if you are applying these things, and then what if it does not work, specifically when
Yes.
the like a church or the museum with the specific lights you want, and your data is incorrect, then what? So I think this particular course will help you to gain the expertise in terms of manual calculation of the sun path and how you can design projections manually first at first level. And then the second part of this particular course is to like how tools, certain tools are available which are free tools, but how smartly you can use to design the projections, and how you can check whether
Sure.
the particular projections and the window size are working well or not. Do you get enough light or not? Do you get the sun rays at whatever the time which you want to have inside the space? Is it working or not? So those things you can actually check, right? So this is the course about it. So in three
Okay.
hours, I will try to take the course in like two parts. So first 2 hours will be about the sun psychology, where one can understand sun in and out, right? How the sun path works, behaves, and how you can consider sun rays in terms of the designing the shading devices, and how manually you can calculate it. So manually I'm going to teach this part, and then the second part is about like how you can use tools to do this task. So I think if you know manual techniques, then it is easy to go with the tools, right? So this is the
That is great. So I am interested to join this course. How I can join?
yes, yes.
So yes, so somebody asked me that question here in the chat box. So before I take that question, if any of you have any question regarding the course, regarding understanding the sun, can put up the questions here. We are here for a few more minutes and we'll be answering it to you. Of course, Bhavik will answer to you. He's the expert there. This course is for architects. This course is for architecture students. So architects, I think it will help them in practice to design much better houses for their clients. And for students, I think to justify in their jury that okay, this design, the sun path is like this, and this will particularly help them. Am I right?
Yes, yes, definitely. And specifically for students, this is much more helpful, right? Because they have to
Yes.
face jury. And if they are not able to justify, then their jury takes the another direction, which is like wrong. I think if they have done like tremendous work of like 4 months, and then if they fail to explain their design because of the simple stupid things, right? And
Mhm.
that's where this course is really like help them to understand the sun path and how they
Yes.
can actually prove that their designs are more accurately working in that field.
So does this help to build a green building also, like a green
Of
rated
course,
building?
of course, yes. So I had worked for like 4 years for the daylight analyst, right? And for example, if we take a scenario like majority, I worked on the schools project. So the
Mhm.
classroom require a certain amount of daylight, and which needs to be distributed uniformly, right? Throughout the like the time hours which you have considered for the operating hours. And if you don't know sun path, right? If you can't calculate the window size and the shading devices, then how can you achieve the good amount of daylight, or how you can understand that this in this particular depth the sunlight will reach and then you will get the reflection, so then you get the proper distribution of daylight. If you do not understand this basics, then of course the no tool can help you. Otherwise आप सिर्फ वो क्या बोलते हैं विंडो साइज छोटा बड़ा और प्रोजेक्शन छोटा बड़ा करते रह जाओगे, बट यू विल नॉट गेट व्हाट यू वांट टू अचीव एज अ पार्ट ऑफ ग्रीन बिल्डिंग, राइट? So I think that's why it is very important. At first level, of course, foundation needs to be clear out.
That's right. So somebody asked the question today here that how they can join the course. So you can join the course by going on the link which is in the bio. You can register from there. You will go to the website. You will see all the details about the course, how you can join, what are the freebies you will be getting after doing this course. And definitely freebies are there because it's an FIR course. Freebies to रहेंगे and you can join it from there. The course is on 30th of July, starting at 10 a.m. It's in morning, yes. You have to wake up and come there to understand the sun plat. He'll be teaching you all about sun psychology. So I think we are done. Anything you want to add?
No, you can say that these sessions are not going to be recorded and not going to be delivered, so you have to be on that.
Yes, you have to be there because there is no recording for this. Will be like we want you to be there and be attentive. It's just like a classroom. You have to
Classroom.
be there, be attentive. Yeah, and I hope you are a strict faculty.
Not much, but yeah.
Okay. So thank you again for coming on this live and clearing all my doubts, all the doubts which I had in DM. If anyone has still any doubts, they can DM me or DM Bhavik. His ID is here. I also tagged him on all the posts. So you can check it there. You can ask him the questions. You can find the link in the bio to register for this course. It's on 30th of July, starting at 10 a.m. See you there.